cruel, about as cruel of a game as I've been a part of. The reason I feel that is I thought we dominated the game, start to finish. Thought we were excellent. Pressure, possession, chance creation. You know, we dominated, and you know, by far our best performance of the year. Both sides of the ball. I thought the energy we played with, and it's cruel because I thought for our guys to put in as much as they put in today, for them not to get anything out of the game, this is very cruel. And I thought it was a travesty the way the result played out.
Do you think urgency after the first goal that NYCFC scored? Do you think there was urgency and probably a little too much pressing on behalf of the team?
No, not at all. No, I thought we were excellently. The urgency was there. We obviously pulled the goal back, you know, and like I said, I mean, we were dominant, extremely dominant. Stats tell that. Anybody that knows the game at all knows that we dominated that game, and it's tough because you know you gotta tell the guys to keep going, keep doing what they're doing, because there have been some other games we haven't played well and won. There have been some other games we haven't played well and lost. There have been some other games where we put together, you know, periods of play, a half. But I thought, honestly, from start to finish, we were very good, you know, and we played with energy, and we played with the right mentality, and we played aggressively, and we pressed. And you know, first goal's unfortunate. It's a definite handball, so that shouldn't have been a goal. And yet the guys, you know, responded, and they fought back and then went 1-1. And, you know, losing Adi with the hamstring, I think, you know, hurt because, you know, we have the run, we have the flow, and we level the game. And, you know, he scores the goal, and then he goes out with a hamstring. You know, but, and I do think, and I told the guys this, that second goal, you know, that was the killer. Because there's no doubt about it, we win that game if we don't give up that second goal, and that goal was avoidable. So when I look at, you know, it being cruel, you know, they took that chance well, but we got to make the play at midfield, and we got to step out, you know, on the shot. Obviously, great finish, but with the exception of that play, the better team didn't win today. I mean, we dominated the game. We should have took points, at least a draw, under the circumstances of giving up that first goal that shouldn't have been a goal. You know, but I think there's no doubt about it, in my mind, we win that game. You know, if we don't give up that second goal, which was completely against the run. I mean, both goals they scored were you know, completely against the run of play.
You mentioned the handball, and then right before the second goal, there was Milano going down the box, and no call there. How do you feel about the way the referee?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Hilario Grajeda is one of the best refs in the league. You know, I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's an excellent official. You know, the first one, the angle he had is tough, you know, but I still think, you know, the arm is so far away from the body. It's not one that just kind of hits the arm into the body. It's away from the body in an unnatural position. And but the angle he was at made it tough, but that's where, you know, the fourth and the linesman have to help him. So, you know, after the game, he admitted he didn't see it, but how does the fourth not see it? You know, that's what they're there for. Yeah, it was a blatant handball. You can see it from miles away, you know, and how four guys miss it, I don't know, you know. But I think, like I said, Grajeda is an excellent referee. He'll watch the tape and know that he made a mistake. But I blame more the fourth and the linesman for not helping him out.
Coach, you kind of hinted that the process was there today, what the results were. How do you, as somebody that has to get that message across to the team, do that while increasing the urgency to turn around this slide that you guys have?
Yeah, good question. I mean, you know, I'll tell you what I told the guys. I said, keep going. You know, because as a staff, we're very pleased today, you know. But sometimes when you don't get rewarded for playing as well as we did, you know, you tend to stop playing that way, and you tend to lose energy, and you know, we're not going to let that happen. You know, we're going to keep fighting, and we're never going to quit. We can pull ourselves out of this. We know where we're at. We're behind it a little bit, but we can make up for it. And the only way you make up for it is biting off, you know, one game at a time and 3 points at a time. And we have a game next weekend that we got to move into. And I told the guys that if we keep playing the way we played today, that eventually we will get 3 points. And the alternative is to go into the next game and lose energy and, you know, not play well, and then you're definitely not going to get results. So if we were today sitting here after this game with 0 points on this game and having a really bad performance, you know, I'd feel a lot worse than I do now. But sometimes when you play really well and you feel like you should win, sometimes that feels worse than playing poor, because you don't feel like you deserve it, you know. But I felt like our guys deserved more, you know, and they earned it in this game, truly did, you know. So we just got to go into the next game and do it again. Do it again, and you can't give up a second goal.
You mentioned Audie coming off with a hamstring. How is he? Do you have any updates?
I don't know yet. They're going to MRI it. So, yeah, tough.
In the face of the accumulating injuries, how difficult is it to kind of keep things positive to to keep the guys going, like you were saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not easy, but you know, that's my job. My job is to keep the group headed in the right direction, and also it's their job to keep performing. And you know, the only thing we can do is move in the next game and play. I want to see exactly what I saw today from start to finish, with the exception of giving up that second goal. But you know, I think I got a group of guys that know they played well today, and I told them that, and I told them to just keep doing what they did today. So I'm confident we'll move in the next game, and we talk a lot about making sure you don't look back, and you know, sometimes you let the past creep into your head and stay there, and it isn't easy, but I have a strong group, and I have a good staff, and you know, we're going to keep locked in, and we're going to keep fighting, and you know, we're not going to lose energy, and we're never going to quit. We're going to fight till the end of the season, and it starts with the next game.
You had a chance to sort of dried up a little bit in the last 20 minutes or so. You know, in Dallas, the second half, it was a similar dynamic. In Vancouver, second half, it was a similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think it's game management? Is it fitness? What do you think is causing you know, a team that's been very, very good late in games to struggle?
Well, I think you got to look at each game. Which game do you want me to break down? Because every game's different, you know what I mean? So, I mean, every team's different, you know. I know you guys like to generalize things, but, you know, you can't generalize things because each game there's different scenarios. I think losing Audie, okay, hurt. I think just the overall fact of us giving up the goal the way we did against the run, you know, I think gave them life. So from a psychological standpoint, all of a sudden, you know, when you saw their first goal they scored against the run, they played better immediately, you know, and we played a little worse, you know, for the next 5. You always see that in soccer games. Same thing with the second goal. When they scored it, all of a sudden they started playing a little bit better, and we lost a little bit of energy because of that. And then we lose Audie, and you know, we still had a couple, you know, looks. So I didn't think we were bad at the end, but you know, I just think the manner of us giving up those goals, the fact we haven't been getting results, you know, it makes it difficult, and I think that's the factor today. You know, I can talk about the other games if you want, but
you don't think there's any pattern there?
What's that?
You don't think there's any pattern there?
Pattern of what?
To sort of tailing off in the second half of the games, or in this case, in the last 20 or 25 minutes?
No, I don't think there's a pattern because, like I said, I mean, it's different guys in each game. The opponent's different. The way the game turns in every game is different. You know, I don't think there's a pattern. I think there's a pattern of us not getting points, obviously, recently. But in this case, I'm talking about this game, I don't think it had anything to do with anything other than us giving up that goal and, you know, losing Audie, for sure. And they played better. Like I said, when they scored the goal, they kept the ball better for the first time in the game. They started keeping the ball. And, you know, I just thought, you know, we did. The other side of it is, these are the layers that go into why I don't think it's a pattern. This is the third game in 8 days for us. And you give up a goal after pushing so hard to get the goal back and pushing to get the next goal, and then you give up the goal, and most of these guys are on their third game in eight days. They're just tired, you know. I mean, mentally and physically just, you know, done. So that's not easy. I mean, I can tell you because I've been inside the lines as a player. You know, that's not easy. And I really credit our guys for giving what they gave on that third game, you know, in 8 days, and playing a team that didn't play all week. And for us to dominate them, and to have the energy we had, and play with the aggressiveness we had, and to create the chances we created, and to even respond from a goal that should have never been allowed, you know, I'm really pleased with that. And so I want to see that in the next game. And you know, if I see it in the next game, I'm confident we'll turn.
Past the first third of the season now, do you think things have been dictated more by things out of your control than within your control?
I don't know. I don't even understand that question, to be honest with you.
With the way the first third has played out, have things, the way they've fallen, been dictated by things not necessarily within your control, or has been most of what's occurred been within your control?
It depends on the game, you know. Depends on the game. What game are you talking about?
Well, we can talk about this game specifically.
This game?
Stand out, yeah.
I think this game, we should have won the game with the way we played. I mean, that's why I said, you know, it was cruel. I'm pretty fair, you know, with what I say and what I see, and, you know, I don't fluff stuff, and, you know, I know the stats, and I know what I feel, and I've watched, you know, thousands of games, and I try to be very fair. We deserve to win that game today, and I feel bad for the guys that they put as much into the game that they did, because they clearly wanted to win, and they put a lot in the game, and they played well, and I thought it was cruel. And, you know, I want my players to be rewarded when they play as hard as they played today, you know, and so in control, out of control, I don't really know how to answer that. I'm sorry, you know. I mean, certainly we've had injuries, you know, so Adi's the 12th injury we've had, so the 10th from key guys that would, you know, could be in the starting rotation. The other two are Taylor and Toma, are the 11th and 12th. So those are out of our control. But you know, you look at the team we put out today. I mean, we had guys out, but look at how they played. Look at how hard they played. It wasn't like we were overmatched. It wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like we looked like we lost confidence after losing 2 games in a row. I don't know if you guys realize how hard that is to keep the energy up and the mentality up and to keep a performance up. And we put our best performance of the year, bar none, best performance of the year after 12 games, after multiple injuries and 2 losses in a row. And you know, the challenge now will be to keep that energy up again, keep that mentality up again, and keep that positive play up again, because that's the only way you dig yourself out of that, is to keep going, and eventually you'll get the 3 points, and then eventually you'll, you know, feel a little bit better and less pressure. And you know, I mean, it's interesting. You know, it's such a psychological sports. They're so psychological. I mean, you see Kansas City, they go 7 games without winning. Why does that happen? Because they start losing, and then they, you know, start playing, you know, not as good because they're losing, and then they lose, you know, confidence, and you know, they have a 7 game without a win. Orlando has had 6 games without a win. You know, how does a team go like Kansas City from winning 3 games in a row and being top of the table to losing 7? It's all confidence, it's psychology, and this sport is very difficult in that regard, because, you know, you can dominate a game like today and not win, and you know, then it starts to get in your head.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.